So I thought this was interesting. Bobby KOTICK says he'd never have raised World of Warcraft subscription by even $1 because it's a prickly audience. You don't want to do too much to agitate them. Good. Good. Fear will keep the systems in line. Fear of this bundle station. Yeah, but really, WoW players have been through enough already. He doesn't mind dozens of store mounts in the token? Right, exactly. I feel like they love to push the envelope as far as possible, though, to see how far they can get away with it. And it's pretty far. I can't say shit about that. I'm a Brutosaur haver. I'm a shop boy haver. I have the shop boy. And this is gonna make people so mad. I shouldn't say that. I don't regret it. I actually love having it. I use it all the time. And every time I'm like in the middle of nowhere and have access to an auction house in a mailbox, it's pretty sick. Yeah. I feel kind of bad, but not really. I just want to be totally honest with you about that. It's really convenient. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That means that I can't really complain about some of these things. Okay, I know. I'm not. I'm just being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. I'm being real. Okay, that's all. Yes, and I mean, okay. In terms of stuff that I do wish they did different, I really think not including game time with any purchase of the War with it. Like, right now, you only get game time if you buy the $80 edition of the game. And this is horrible. I feel like if you decided to buy War Within, give the person the sub time so they can play it. Just let them buy the game expansion, and then that lets them play for 30 days. Just, come on, just do it. Why would you only give that to... If somebody is buying the $80 edition of the game, I'm pretty sure they can probably set up a sub. It's probably not an issue for them to set up the damn sub. It's just, I feel like that's a bad financial choice. I feel like that's a case where trying to be greedy actually backfires, because it means that maybe there's people that are less likely to try the expansion and see how freaking amazing it is because they are put off by the idea of having to buy the expansion and sub at the same time. I think this is actually stupid. There's a point when your greed can actually become counterproductive to the goal of making money. And I really think that was stupid. Yeah. I also think that the paid beta was really icky with the War Within. That's something that I think we don't really talk about anymore because it's over. But that was an icky. That was not great. It was not great. But I'm sure they made money hand over fist with that. The fact is, like, let's not act like Bobby isn't raising sub prices because he's worried about, oh, the players get mad. That's not why. Okay, he's just saying that because it's just he's just memeing, I think. Actually, he knows that if Blizzard ever tried to increase the sub cost, yes, people would of course go nuclear, but they're not stupid. Like, they know that the sub model is already kind of a dinosaur model in the current gaming ecosystem. And it's amazing that they get away with it at all. I think that's the reason. That's why WoW Token exists. That's why they let people pay with gold. That's why they don't force every single player to pay with cash. Because I feel like they know that there's probably a limited amount of time that they can continue to get away with a subscription model in the modern era. It's kind of, well, it's getting out of date. But I do also think that they justify the sub costs really well, I will say, with World of Warcraft, because there's 100 different versions of the game that you can play now with your sub. Your sub, you can get a lot of bang for your buck with a subscription fee these days, so I don't have a problem with the subscription fee in the current state of things. I feel like I get a lot out of my money, and I always have something to do. I almost have too much to do, which is not a bad thing. But even so, submodel's outdated, and I'm sure that they see the writing on the wall with that, because Guild Wars 2 doesn't have a sub. There's a lot of games that are buy to play or free to play, where you just... I know Elder Scrolls Online doesn't have a sub, buy to play. You do not have to subscribe. There's a ton of content. A lot of games do the free to play option and just exploit whales for the microtransactions. And you would not believe how effective that is. Like, all these mobile games that you see around, like, you get these ads for, like, the shittiest looking mobile games imaginable. They make so much money from whales. You would not believe it. I know this because I worked at a mobile game studio that, like, wasn't... I didn't think we were putting out, like, breakthrough, like, amazing stuff, okay? But that company made ridiculous money off of the whales. And so they had more than enough. So I feel like it's a more effective model a lot of times. I have been a whale too. I don't think it's fair to say I've been a whale. I've been a dolphin. I've seen what whales spend. I have been a dolphin a little bit in gacha games, so I know. But now not so much. At some point, though, yeah, I do think that they're gonna have to rethink the structure. My favorite is still... You said ESO is miserable to play without putting in the extra money for storage, though, for the crafting bag. Yeah, once you've experienced playing it with the crafting bag, it sucks to go back. So if you guys don't know, Elder Scrolls Online, you don't have to pay a subscription fee, but if you do pay, you get an infinite capacity storage bag for crafting materials. And this is just... It's so amazing. It's so amazing. You can literally pick up everything you see. And it's hard to go back. But there's people that manage it. Yes. I'm a crafter though. Yeah, I got pretty heavy into crafting with Elder Scrolls Online. I love Elder Scrolls Online. I was thinking about playing it a little more, actually. Because I really like what I've heard from them in their 2025 update. But that's a whole other side topic. It's a tangent. I'm passionate about Elder Scrolls lore. I always have been. And I've always, you know, I check in with ESO a couple times a month. On my own time. I check in with my characters and see what's up. I see what's on the monthly store stuff. Maybe I am a whale. They got me with that monthly store. They do the monthly Crown Store showcase, and I do check it at the start of each month. I'm like, ooh, it's a new month. I wonder what they got this month. And the Crown Store, there's a mount or a hairstyle. They never put hairstyles. Okay, this is a huge tangent. It's a huge tangent. What I was trying to say is, Bobby knows he can't squeeze more money out of the sub model. Okay, that's all I was trying to say. That's all I was trying to say. He knows that it works, and as long as it works, they have no reason to change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, that's all. He's not, like, scared of the players at all. But I do think that most people would agree. Yes, WoW players would go nuclear at the slightest hint of a raise of sub prices. And you know what? I fucking love that about the WoW community. I love that. I love that. It's so nice. It's nice. It's refreshing that having the culture of criticism where it's okay to be vocal about crap that you don't like. I think it's very healthy for the game overall. They say you can always tell how much someone loves World of Warcraft by how much they roast World of Warcraft. How much they hate on World of Warcraft. I mean, shit, right now, people hate on retail when things are better than they've ever been. There's people that just, they love to do it. There's people that are like, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. I've been playing this game for a long time. I've seen the game be amazing. I've seen it go into the gutter, and I've seen it be absolutely incredible. Again, like now I think it's in its best state. I really feel that. And it's wild to me to see people play the game as it was 20 years ago, and they're like, no, it was better in Classic. Yeah, I've seen War Within, and I think it's better. Let's go back. It was Classic better, retail sucks. It's like they can't win. You know? Finally. It's in a great spot. Like, what's the... Now it's in the best spot it could be. Classic better. Because there's nothing... But I'm glad that people can play Classic. You know, you have that option. That's wonderful. So, again, that you could still say WoW is in the best state. Because even if you don't like retail, you have choices of very different experiences you might like instead. Which is awesome. That's great. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that I do think that the WoW community could stand to be a little nicer to devs whenever they give feedback. A little bit more courteous. There have been times, especially during Shadowlands era, when, you know, I was watching a lot of videos during that time because I've kept up to date with all the news. I'm passionate about this game. Even when it was bad, I watched all of the videos about why it was bad. I watched all of the I Quit videos, everything. All of it. I was watching Preach back then, before I knew Preach, personally. I was just like another YouTube watcher. And Preach was always really respectful, I think, with his feedback. But I've seen videos from people that were like, mean.
Hi, Zep.
So mean. Like, these are human beings working on the game. There were times when I thought to myself, how do they handle this and not just, like, get bitter? Like, when Dragonflight came out, for example, and Dragonflight was so good. I love Dragonflight. I remember thinking to myself, how did they come out of that quagmire of hate and negativity that was, you know, deserved, but not to that extent of it being personal? How do you come out of that and then still create something that's great? That's for the players, right? How do you keep the people in your heart while being attacked so savagely all the time? And they did it. Somehow they do it. Somehow they do it. Yeah, they're battle hardened, man. I wish that people would just consider that more, though, when talking about devs. Be a little kinder to them. Like, there's no need to be personal about it. But with that said, you know, being vocal in a civil and friendly way, it forces devs to be accountable, which is necessary. And I just love that in WoW. I don't feel anxiety when I feel like I need to call out something that's a problem. Like, I need to call out something that's bad. I feel like I can just freely do that without feeling like I need to present Exhibit A, Exhibit B, you know, like I've got to defend myself in a court of law. I don't feel like I have to do that, and that's been really good. It's been really good. Am I the only person unnerved by Bobby? Oh my god, we've had Bobby on screen way too long. Okay, yeah, you're right. person you know just made a great point. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day. Anyway.